Ever catch yourself wondering why she keeps her gaze fixed on him? Not the guy her age, with the polished smile and the gym body, but the one with a few lines etched into his face. Sitting quietly among the noise, sipping coffee like he's survived a war he never mentions. She's pulled toward something in him, nothing flashy, no status symbols, something weightier, older, real. And here's the part no one really tells you. If you're a man past 35, you might already carry exactly what younger women are drawn to, but you've been too busy questioning yourself to realize it. So before you shrug off her glances, before you convince yourself she'd never be interested in someone like you, listen up. There are 5 qualities older men tuck away like ghosts in the lining of their coats. And they don't just attract younger women, they haunt them. Let's start. 1. The calm that comes before the storm. Ever step into a room and feel a strange tension? Not something bad, but more like a quiet, who the hell is that energy? That's what an older man who knows himself gives off. He isn't doused in cologne so strong it smacks you in the face. He isn't loud, doesn't flash a watch, doesn't crack jokes like he's auditioning for a part he'll never land. He just is. And you know what? Younger women clock this immediately. Because what they spend their days surrounded by is frantic noise, late night texts from boys who think emojis are intimacy and assume WID is a profound question. Picture this. She walks into a cafe. She's 24, worn out from men who love the chase but vanish at commitment. She orders her overpriced latte, and then she sees him older, absorbed in an actual book, not scrolling TikTok. There's a crease between his brows, not stress, but thought, living, maybe pain. She doesn't have words for why she can't look away. It isn't lust, not yet, it's curiosity. Like stepping into a foggy forest and hearing something breathing in the dark. She doesn't know if it's a monster or a miracle. Somehow, that uncertainty is more intoxicating than certainty ever was, because this man is calm. And in a world full of men who quake, text too quickly, and apologize for their own shadows, that calm is pure power. The Stoics knew it. You feel it near an older man who's learned to befriend silence and doesn't fear stillness. Want to know why he's magnetic? It isn't the lines on his face, it's the story behind them. 2. The kind of pain you can't look up on Google. Let's get dark for a minute. Stay with me. When you're young, heartbreak feels like a Taylor Swift lyric. Some guy ghosts you post a thirst trap and move on. But as you age, heartbreak grows teeth. You bury people, lose jobs, sit alone in an apartment with burned out bulbs. You never bothered to change. And the man who's weathered all that carries a depth younger men don't have. This depth isn't romantic or pretty, it's heavy, quiet, like the smell of rain on pavement or the ache of an empty chair across the dinner table. Younger women, whether they can say it or not, hunger for something real, something with gravity. That stings a little when they touch it. And that older man, the one with haunted eyes and steady hands, he's been shattered and rebuilt himself, piece by bloody piece. She feels it in the way he listens more than he talks, in how he never has to prove a thing because he's already lost everything once and lived to tell it. I'll tell you a story. There was a guy in his mid-50s, once a musician. He loved a woman. She left, or maybe she died, he never said. Every night, he'd sit at a battered piano in a dive bar and play this same old jazz tune. One night, a young woman walked in mid-20s, fresh off heartbreak from a boy who thought vulnerability was weakness. She listened to him play. She watched not just how his hands moved, but how they paused. Later, she sat beside him. She didn't ask for his number. She asked what the song meant. That's the difference. Younger women don't crave surfaces. They crave soul, even if they can't name it. Older men have it in spades, not because they chased it, but because they earned it. 3. The dangerous comfort of self-control. This one is tricky, because what younger women secretly want, though they'd never admit, is a man who desires them deeply and doesn't act on it. Let that sink in. The man who could take, but doesn't, that's power. Imagine this. You're an older man, sitting across from a woman as radiant as the first snowfall. Her laugh sounds like wind chimes. Her dress slips off her shoulder when she shifts. You feel the heat rise between you. Undeniable. She leans closer, teases something flirtatious. You look her in the eye and say, I love where this is going, but I respect you too much to rush it. Boom, she's hooked. Because every other man would have lunged at the chance, seized it with both hands, and killed it. But you didn't. You know something they don't. Self-control is the ultimate seduction. It's a Stoic principle, the idea that mastery over yourself outweighs mastery over others. Younger women are constantly testing men without realizing it. Can you sit with the tension? Can you withstand the fire without snuffing it out or letting it consume you? Most fail. But the older man who has loved, lost, and learned passes every test. Because true attraction isn't about taking. It's about patience and restraint, creating space where the flame can burn without turning to ash. That man is rare. And women, especially younger ones, will chase that rarity like it's air. 4. He has shadows and he doesn't hide them. There's a particular kind of man who unsettles people not because he's dangerous, but because he's faced danger. He's the guy who stays calm when the lights flicker out. who doesn't flinch when chaos erupts. And here's the truth. Younger women chase that man. Not the polished pretty boy with his positivity quotes. Not the guy who falls apart when the Wi-Fi crashes. They want the man who's looked his demons in the eye and said, "Oh, it's you again. Sit down." That's the twist. No one tells you people think attraction is all about light. But real magnetism, it's shadow. The man who owns his flaws rather than hiding them behind cash and cologne. The man who doesn't have to declare his pain because it's right there, etched in his gaze. He doesn't parade a sob story, he carries a library of pain that taught him how to read other people. Younger women sense it like static in the air. They might not know why his half-smile sticks in their mind or why his voice replays in the quiet hours. It's because she glimpsed the shadow. Unlike the boys who run from theirs, this man wears his like a second skin. Younger women don't chase perfection, they crave authenticity. And the older man who's crawled through heartbreak and emerged quiet, he's real. She feels safer with him not because he's harmless, but because he chooses not to harm. That's power most men will never know, and women never forget. 5. He doesn't need her in. That's exactly why she wants him. Here's the final piece and fair warning. It stings. Younger women chase older men because he doesn't need them. Sounds cold, doesn't it? But it's magnetic. When you're a woman in your 20s, the world is a fog of cheap flattery and men treating your body like it's a prize from a cereal box. Everyone wants something. And then she meets him. Older, wiser. When he looks at her, it's different. He sees her, but he doesn't orbit her. He appreciates her, but doesn't cling. Why? Because he doesn't need her to feel whole. He's already found peace on his own. That's the Stoic advantage. Older men who've done the inner work don't need rescuing or validation. They don't need someone to complete them. They're complete already. And here's the paradox: when she realizes he'll be just fine without her, she starts chasing him. Not from desperation, but because, for the first time, she sees a man who won't buckle under the weight of her affection. A man who can hold her not to possess, but to honor. That's rare. And that's why younger women don't just want older men, they pursue them. Not because of the age gap. Not just the experience, but because older men carry something younger men haven't earned yet: stillness in chaos, peace in solitude, and silence that feels like strength. So before you write yourself off because of your years, before you assume she only wants something shiny and loud, pause. If any of this resonated, don't just scroll past. Drop a comment, share your story, or simply leave a still standing below. Someone out there needs to hear this. The storm may howl, but the Stoic man remains unshaken.